Okay, so now on to the next episode of Wednesday One Looks. This is number 3 or 4, I think. Today we're going to go through something quite dissimilar to the previous ones that I've shown you. And these are when you have only one corner that's twisting. And rather than kind of just showing one case that can solve both, you just use a different algorithm for it. I kind of have to show these cases individually and show how they work. But the method is pretty much the exact same for seeing what it does to the cube. So for this one, I'll first show you how I actually solve these first, because they're a bit different. The reason I'm solving them like this is because they do very similar things to the centers and corners, which means that you don't have to kind of learn different ways of solving them for different cases when it's turning clockwise or anti-clockwise. Later on, if you want to get more advanced, you can obviously learn different ways, and you can force nicer cases for after the layer. But for now, we're just going to stick with these two ways of twisting these corners. The first way is this way, when it's twisting anti-clockwise, or clockwise, sorry. It goes like that. And when it's twisting clockwise, anti-clockwise, sorry, this is the normal alg. So that's the regular alg really. Okay, so now let's just go through what they actually do to the cube. Sorry for that cut. So the good thing about both of these is that the corner at the back on the left is not affected at all. And you can kind of just do that by using your common sense. If you're going to twist this round and bring it back up, this corner's just going to go down and up again. So you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to go through this one first. So this corner is twisting clockwise, which means that this corner above it, directly above it, is also going to go clockwise. And that's how you know what these corners will be. So this corner is just twisting, it's not moving anywhere, it's literally just twisting. And like I showed in the first video, the very first video of the series, if you know what two corners that are next to each other are doing, then you know what the rest of the corners will be doing. So yeah, it's pretty easy after that. And the same initiative can be used for this one. So this one is twisting anti-clockwise, which means that the corner directly above it is going to be twisting anti-clockwise. And that's how you know what the corners will do. Now let's go through the centers. It's pretty much very, 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 very similar to like 3 weeks ago now. The Wednesday One Looks episode 3 or something. But instead of these two swapping, it's just these two swapping and these two swapping. So the top one and the right one will swap, and the left one and the front one will swap. And that's how you know where the centers will be. If you know how to do last week's one, then you'll be able to do this one pretty easily within a few tries. So I'll just go through it again. When it's twisting clockwise, the corner directly above it will twist clockwise. The one on the back on the left is not affected at all. So now you know, if you know where both of these will be, you know exactly where these will be. And the corner and the center on the front and the left will swap, and the corner on the top and the right will swap. And it's the same for this one. I'm not going to go through centers again for this one because they're the exact same, apart from this corner is twisting anti-clockwise, and so the corner directly above it is going to twist anti-clockwise. Okay, now I've gone through that. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, so I might as well just do some walkthroughs like I normally do, and just show how I do it. So this one is going to be twisting clockwise like that. You can see that. Sorry, anti-clockwise. Getting that mixed up quite a lot. So let's ignore that layer solved in the back. So what we can see is that this one is twisting anti-clockwise, which means that this one will twist anti-clockwise as well. This one is not affected, meaning that we have peanut, because one is facing up and one isn't. You should already know this kind of stuff from the first video, so I'm not going to go through this kind of stuff again. So this one's facing up, this isn't, meaning that there's going to be orange here, because this one's twisting anti-clockwise as well as this one. So there's going to be orange, 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 and yeah, and obviously orange there. So now let's look at the centers. These two swap, meaning there's going to be a solve center here. This back one isn't affected at all. So we already have two solve centers. Now let's look at this one. This one moves down to here. The U center moves down. Okay, so now we know that this one moves down here. So now we know it's peanuts because we looked at these, plus O perm. So now we just need to check exactly what peanut plus O perm case will be. This is quite a hard one, but I'm kind of glad it came up because obviously you need to know quite a lot about this. So now we need to see exactly where the corners will be and kind of just try to visualize what the case will look like. So there's going to be a solve center here, orange here, orange here, orange here. The U center is going to be here, so then we know you'd normally solve it with sledge would just give an 8 perm if I were to solve it. So then you just do the 8 move alg, and then as you can see, you do sledge to solve it, but instead you just use an 8 move alg. Okay, that's the first one. Now let's go on to the second. My hands are cold, so I can't turn. Okay. And then let's do the other way this time. So this one is currently moving clockwise, which means that the corner directly above it will also move clockwise. This one at the back is not affected and it's facing up. So now we know that it's already peanut, because one facing up, one not facing up. Okay, so now let's go through the rest. This is a opposite center. Focus camera. Okay. And this is a solve center, and this would also be an opposite center. This one's moving down to here. So now we know it's one of those like weird sledge or hedge to pure peanut cases. So now let's just go through a bit more slowly. This one is moving clockwise. This corner directly above it will also move clockwise, meaning that there's going to be red here, and because there's red here, red will be there, and red will be there. So now we just this is where stuff kind of gets a bit confusing. But you just have to kind of learn it. But yeah, it will be sledge. I don't know how else to describe it. But now we can twist this corner, and we have hedge. Well, you can kind of execute it in different ways, but that's why I execute it. But yeah, okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, so now let's look at this. Okay, so this one is moving clockwise again, same case as last time, which means that this corner will also move clockwise. So now we have pi, and there's going to be green here and green there, because this doesn't move. So now we have green there, green there, green there, green there. This is one of those really easy to one-look cases, because we already know that there's going to be a big block here, because this is the U center isn't affected, and these two corners will be attached to it after I finish the alg, because we know that it's pi now. And if you have one there and one there, you know that you'll have a green center there, green corner there, and a green corner there. So now I just need to check exactly what case it is. So this is actually a really nice one. It's just going to be sledge, hedge. And the way I know that is because this one moves down to here, and these two swap, meaning that these will both be adjacent pieces, which means that there'll only be one solve center. And when you have one solve center and this big block at the back, you know you can solve it. With the sledge at first, then you'll get category 1 case, I think. Peanut category 1 or category 2 or something like that. So it'll be sledge, hedge. So you do that, and then sledge, hedge. Just like I said. I'm not going to go into more detail. This is a much shorter video, and I hope it's helped. It's quite a simple thing to learn, so yeah, thanks for watching.